I didn't learn my brother got married from a phone call. I learned it from my screen. A photo slid across my feed the way bad news always does. Quiet, uninvited, almost polite in its cruelty. Evan stood under soft amber string lights, smiling a smile I didn't recognize. Beside him, a woman in lace, Sienna, rested her head on his shoulder like she had always belonged there. I stared at the image so long the screen dimmed. No text from him. No missed call. No invite. Nothing. The world didn't crash, not dramatically. It just tilted. A slow, nauseating tilt that made everything inside me slosh out of place. I called him once. Twice. 5 times. On the 6th attempt, the line went dead before the ring even began. When my phone finally lit up with his name, relief struck me too quickly. I swiped, breath caught halfway. But it wasn't his voice. "Well," a woman said, "I was wondering how long it would take you." Sienna. Her voice was sharp, glossed with victory. "I need to speak to my brother," I said. "He's busy," she replied. "We just got back from the reception. It was perfect." Reception. A wedding. My brother's wedding. I wasn't invited. I swallowed hard. "I don't understand," I whispered. "Why would?" Her tone sharpened, perfectly enunciated, like she wanted every syllable to cut. "My wife doesn't want you there. She thinks you're pathetic." For a moment nothing existed. Not the room, not the air, not the breath inside my lungs. Only that word. Pathetic. Behind her voice I heard him. Muted. Small. Attempting courage but failing. "Sienna, just give me the phone." "No," she snapped louder, clearly for my benefit. "She needs to hear this. We're adults now. We don't need her controlling everything." Controlling. Of all the words she could have chosen, she chose the one that struck like a match against bone. "I paid for the loft you're standing in," I said quietly. "I paid his tuition, his furniture, his travel fund, his life. Tell me where the control is in giving someone everything they have." She laughed softly, a cruel curated sound. "Exactly. You bought his life. And now he's done living under your shadow." Then Evan finally spoke, and what he said didn't hurt. The way he said it did. "You make things heavy, Lily." Heavy. 15 years of sacrifice and I made things heavy. The call ended before I could respond. My phone fell silent. And something inside me went silent too. Not broken silent. A silence that doesn't collapse. A silence that calculates. My name is Lily Marshall, and for most of my life, I believed loyalty could hold a family together. I learned how wrong I was at 23. I can still see that hospital hallway, the color of old paper, the scent of antiseptic tangled with fear, Evan's small hands clutching my coat while his world crumbled. Our mother, Julia, was gone before either of us understood the word gone. I signed papers with hands that weren't ready to be adult hands. Evan had only been 14. From that day on, something inside me shifted. I didn't become an older sister. I became a shield. Paycheck. Parent. A wall. While my friends chased careers, I chased survival. Day shifts. Night gigs. Freelance jobs squeezed between meals. Evan never lacked books, fees, robotics club dues, senior trip costs, dorm necessities. I covered everything. Not because he asked, because losing our mother felt like a crack spreading across the floor. And I couldn't let him fall through it. When he left for college, I bought a loft. Under my name. With my money. For him. I told him it was for convenience. Really, it was stability. I also created a travel fund. Tiny deposits tucked away over years, until it reached $35,000. Enough for the Europe trip he always dreamed of. He used to joke he'd pay me back someday. I always said the same thing. Family doesn't keep score. What a beautiful lie that turned out to be. Betrayal rarely arrives loud. It arrives like a bruise, soft pressure at first, nothing alarming. Until one day you look down and see a mark you don't remember earning. Months before the wedding, Evan's messages got shorter. His tone sharper. His gratitude disappeared. Then he introduced me to her. Sienna. All curated beauty and influencer confidence. A smile polished for cameras. Eyes that measured me like a threat she was already planning to neutralize. Something shifted that day. Something subtle. Something cold. But never, not even in my ugliest fears, did I imagine he would erase me. Yet that's exactly what he did. A wedding without me. A life event cut clean of my existence. I stared at the photos, waiting for denial to turn into reason. It didn't. What arrived instead was realization. The family I'd held together for 15 years had quietly cut me out. I drove to the loft. The one I bought. The one they now lived in. The one they honeymooned from while blocking my number. I knocked. Sienna opened the door just enough to show her smirk. Really? You actually came. I want to talk to my brother. Whatever you need to say, she replied. Say it here. We're done with you barging into our lives. Behind her, Evan hovered, small, folded into himself, hands in pockets, shoulders rounded. Not grief. Cowardice. Something in me snapped. Not explosively, but clean, like a wire finally giving way after too much weight. I walked away. In the elevator, my reflection stared back at me. Perfect hair, perfect makeup. The kind of woman who looked in control. How ironic. I felt hollow. But beneath that hollowness, something else simmered. Not rage. Not grief. Clarity. The kind that arrives only when something inside you finally collapses. At home, the loft greeted me with warm lights and empty rooms. The kind of emptiness that echoes. I sat at my desk, opened a blank spreadsheet, and began typing. Every dollar. Every bill. Every asset. Every transfer. Every sacrifice. Line by line, I built a map of a life I had funded alone. When the picture was complete, I felt something shift inside me. A single thought rose with perfect clarity. If they want independence, I will give it to them. Completely. Cleanly. Permanently. I called Maya Lopez, the attorney who owed me a favor. Maya, I said. Do I have the legal right to unwind everything I've paid for? All of it. She listened. She took notes. Then she answered, crisp and certain. Lily, everything is in your name. You can sever every tie without his permission. I closed my eyes. Good. Is this about the wedding? She asked. I wasn't invited, I replied. And apparently I'm pathetic. Silence. Then, I'll send the documents. At 9:01 a.m. I made the first call. Airline customer service. How may I assist you? I need to cancel a reservation. Europe. 2 premium tickets. The honeymoon Sienna planned to take on my dime. Reason for cancellation? The agent asked. Plans changed. A refund pinged into my inbox. The honeymoon was gone. Next, the travel fund. I clicked withdraw all without a second thought. Then the loft. Realtor. Listing. Cash offer. Closing in days. Utilities shifted out of my name. Phone plan updated. Streaming accounts erased. Credit card authorization revoked. Every click was a boundary. Every boundary a liberation. When I finished, I sent one final text. You wanted independence. You have it now. Do not contact me again. Then I blocked him. And for the first time in months, I exhaled without shaking. The fallout arrived in waves. The building manager called. Sienna had stormed in screaming. Evan confused and quiet, holding papers he didn't understand. The sale went through. They were given notice to vacate. The unit no longer belonged to them. It never had. Weeks passed. Silence deepened. Life sharpened. I got a promotion. Moved into a place that matched the size of my new world, small, clean mine. Booked a solo trip to Yellowstone. Silence, I discovered, can be freedom wearing a different name. Months later, an unknown number flashed across my phone. I almost ignored it. I didn't. Lily, Evan's voice cracked. I need help. His story spilled out. Sienna burning through their money. The honeymoon cancellation humiliating her. Debt mounting. Her leaving him for someone with more stability. And now, I have nowhere to go. Can I stay with you? Just until I get back on my feet. I listened. Not angrily. Not bitterly. Just aware. Aware of how quiet my life had become without him. How peaceful. How clean. I inhaled once, slow and steady. No, I said. You wanted independence. Live it. I hung up. And blocked the number. People think the story ends with me shutting the door. But the real ending is simpler. I didn't abandon my brother. He abandoned me first. All I did was stop holding the door open. And for the first time since I was 23, I finally walked away. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos updates, and exciting new content every week.